Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This will be this channel will be about tutorials and my drawing processes, all of that. This is my first video and I want to share, and it's going to be kind of intuitive. It may not have heavy editing, but you gotta start somewhere, right? Anyway, so today I'm going to talk about why you are not improving in drawing. So this is a video topic that has been done a lot before, but I think there is a point that many artists, many teachers don't really talk about, and that being, let me get straight to the point. Many people who say they are not improving is usually drawing the appearance of the subject, not the how the subject works. So they are thinking about this looks like this, not this works like this. So instead of drawing how something looks, you have to draw how something works. So the reason I have paper here is of course to give you a visual representation, but yeah, so let's pick a simple topic, right? Like a mouth. So somebody might see a mouth and let's say they draw it like this, okay? So here is the lips part, and here is this part, here is this part. They see this upper lip, sorry, lower lip and upper lip, and they, let's say, draw it like this, right? So this is, and they maybe add creases here. They may just, actually let me make that bigger, let me make that bigger, sorry about that. So yeah, I realize you cannot see that on the camera. So let's say there we are drawing a lip, right? The simple subject. So lower lip, upper lip, this is how a lip appears to us, right? So this is how it looks to us, this is how it appears. And we might add a lot of details here, like the crease of the lip, some shadow work, like in here, for contrast, clear shapes. We can do all that, but it still wouldn't look how we want it to look, right? So why is that? Also, let me just zoom in a little bit. Sorry about that. This is my first video, so it can kind of get like this, okay? So this is how it appears to us, but it is not how actually a lip is supposed to work. So, for example, when we are practicing, we shouldn't draw these. Instead, we should focus on not the bigger shapes, but how it functions. So, for example, when we look at anatomy, most artists say, "Oh, like here is a muscle, here is a muscle. They look like this. They look like this." How I think is, like, how I want you to think is not how it looks, but more like this muscle, if it bumps, this muscle kinda straightens, and this muscle connects here, and because it connects to here, let's say the arm is raised. This is an arm, for example. Let's draw an arm here, because the arm is raised. Let's say this is the arm. The pec muscles also have to connect through here and raise themselves, and the back muscles kind of connect in here, and the triceps and the biceps all work together to raise this arm, because it has to work in a certain way. The body also bends the body also bends with the arm, so you shouldn't restrict your shapes. You shouldn't restrict your shapes. And when you realize how something works, it is easier to draw them without looking at reference, without making that many mistakes. Of course, we will always make mistakes, but this is to kind of reduce the ones that are kind of ruin our drawings. There are mistakes that make it better and mistakes that ruin our drawings. So yeah, and as you can see, like this here is how the body warps itself, you see. And the reason, for example, this may be bumped, like the bicep growing, is because the arm is kind of looking at this way and the hand is turned this way. So if the hand is turned this way, you know, the thing that turns here is the tendon. So this tendon right here also increases in size, and this part straightens because that's how the body works. And you basically draw it. So yeah, sorry for that, but yeah, like this is how it's supposed to work. Of course, this is a really rough sketch, but what it's trying to tell you is not how something is supposed to be drawn. It's how you're supposed to think when practicing. When practicing, you shouldn't think it like, oh, this appears like this. Instead, you should think how something looks. So, for example, let's go from the lip again. The lip has muscles connected to it. So, let's say we draw this circle right here to represent those muscles together. We draw this ellipsis to depict the form, and if you remember, there is like this part and this part. These parts connect to the nose, so like this, and these parts also form the lip, and then here is the lip going down, going up, like in and out, basically going in and out. And as you can see, when you study these muscles as if how they work, so why do we have these? For example, if we open our mouth, when we speak, when we express something, the upper muscles may just stretch or squash and the upper muscles may stretch or squash to, let's say, represent disgust or anger, because that is how the muscle works. And already you can understand the concept of a lip better, and you shade it more realistically because you understand the form and how it works. So of course this is a rough sketch, but again, I'm not telling you should draw it like a nose like this. I'm not telling you should draw a nose like this, or you should draw a lip. Like, I can draw a very clean lip, it is not the point. What I'm trying to say is you should not think about this, but instead think about why this lip moves the way it does. Because if you do not understand that part, then how are you going to draw it? Like, you may copy every single type of lip, but if you still don't understand how it works, then sorry, like, you're not going to draw it properly, right? So don't copy the appearance, instead copy how something looks. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, fuck. Oh my god. Okay. I said it wrong. Don't copy how something looks, how it appears, but instead copy how they function, why they function, because that is where you understand the subject. Yeah, that's basically it. Sorry about my first video being so low quality. I will try to improve the quality better later on. I hope this helps. The reason I'm going to drop it off here is because it's already 9 minutes, and I don't think people want to watch a low quality video for that long. So bye bye.